You may be seated. So it's a great day to be here to cut the ribbon for our new dispatch center. This has been a long time coming. And when you understand the importance of an emergency communication center, no fire truck could be dispatched to an emergency call without a dispatch center, because the emergencies all begin with a 911 call. I would like to acknowledge a few guests that are here today. Fire Chief Doug Greener and his staff from the Bakersfield City Fire Department. Fire Chief Jeff Armstrong from the California City Department. There is department heads from various county departments who are here today to help us celebrate. There's county staff that actually worked on this project. From the fire department, Deputy Chief John Silliman and Fire Captain Mark Radican, they were instrumental in making sure our needs were met. Jeff Frapwell and Jeffrey Hill from General Services, who worked on this project. And there are just numerous people that put this project together. So we're here today, and there's so many names, they're too numerous to mention, but it took a lot of staff, took a lot of time to get to where we are today. So a big hand for all those people who helped us put it together. So when you talk about an emergency communications center, it really is the nerve center on how incidents begin. As I said, every call begins with a 911 call, and that's not entirely true. There is still a few people who report emergencies directly to the fire station. Sometimes there's a frantic knock on a door, or some old-time people in some of the rural areas, they still have the phone number for the fire station, and they'll call up and report. But since 911, that universal number came along, most of our calls all come through a phone. And now with the cell phones, it's the technology is people will be able to text us pictures of the emergency actually occurring. So we have information that we can push out to our first responders. In fact, some of the statistics that I've heard is often a vehicle accident on Interstate 5 will generate 50 to 100 cell phone calls. So each of those calls are answered by our dispatchers. They used to go to CHP, but now they're coming directly to us for those type of emergencies. Our dispatchers are here 24 hours a day, fully staffed. And I had some statistics ran on what the busiest time of the day is. And it's kind of interesting. Our busiest time of the day is 5 o'clock in the afternoon. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, when everybody's getting off work, our call volume reaches its max between 5 and 6 o'clock in the evening. And actually, during the day up to about 10 o'clock at night, our total call volume stays about the same. Our lowest point during the day is actually that 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, when I guess everybody is actually in bed asleep. But that's our slowest time of the day. And generally, it doesn't make any difference what time of the year. All the months stay relatively the same for call volume. Actually, February, the month we're in right now, is our slowest month. And maybe that's because there's only 28 days. But generally, February is the slowest month. July is our busiest month. Our dispatchers dispatch a lot of calls. Each and every one of them is important. Every fire agency here in the county of Kern, their calls are dispatched out of this facility. And let me just talk about that right now. This is government gone good. This really is. This is a good example of government working together. There are 3 fire agencies, 3 local government fire agencies here in the county of Kern, and we all work together out of this building. Bakersfield City Fire Department has dispatchers that work out of this building, and California City contracts with us to provide their dispatching, but it's not 3 separate centers. This is one center, and it doesn't matter who pays your paycheck. You're dispatching emergency calls for all of the county, all of the incorporated cities. We all work together. This is government gone good. Another big part of this is our expanded dispatch center, which you will see. What does that mean? Our Fire Chief Paul Marquez from CAL FIRE is here today. CAL FIRE and the Kern County Fire Department partner to protect the wildland areas, the state responsibility areas. And over the course of time, of course, we're held more accountable for how we expend taxpayers' dollars on incidents. It's not a free-for-all. There's not money at the end of the rainbow. We have to be very careful with taxpayers' dollars. Wildland fires, generally, a working wildland fire will cost $1 million a day to contain. That doesn't even count the damage that fire does. Every piece of equipment, every firefighter, every aircraft, hand crew bulldozer, the sack lunches, the cases of Gatorade our firefighters drink, the shovels that may break on the incident need to be replaced, a piece of fire hose that burns through, everything is tracked. Everything is tracked, and it has to be ordered. You can just imagine the chaos when a major wildland fire is burning through the county of Kern. Our dispatchers, our expanded dispatch staff, and other members of the fire department will respond up to this facility this summer and work in our expanded dispatch center. We will order the resources needed to contain that fire, we will track it, and we will make sure that every dollar, every penny is tracked so the taxpayers have an adequate, a thorough accounting of the money that we spend to control these fires. And I know a few years ago, Chief Marquez and myself, we worked together during the lightning fires, and you can just imagine the amount of firefighting efforts that occurred in Kern County, where we had over 50 wildland fires burning at one time and tracking all of that stuff. Our expanded dispatch center has always been at our headquarters, and we actually had to take one of our classrooms over at training because we had so much staff. Now we'll be able to handle it up at this one-stop facility, and the coordination between our dispatchers and our expanded dispatch staff will happen seamlessly. That's how important this building is. Our dispatchers are some of the top dispatchers in the nation. You're going to see plaques on the wall that says reaccreditation. Well, what does that mean? It means we have a series of protocols that our dispatchers go through when people call in with a medical emergency. We're able to give life-saving instructions the minute our dispatchers pick up the phone. They determine what the problem is, and they're giving those instructions that help people save lives. That's even before our fire units are responding to the call, our ambulances. We're giving life safety instructions. There's a whole series of protocols, and the dispatchers can show you those protocols today. But to become an accredited dispatch center, you have to do it perfect. You have to follow the instructions. These protocols are national protocols put together by doctors to make sure that we're doing it right. And our dispatchers, year after year, because of their performance, our center gets reaccredited. And with the next budget year, we'll actually be rolling out our fire protocols. So the same set of instructions will now be there for our fire and rescue emergencies.
And we'll be accredited on that end too. That's how important that we value this center, our dispatchers, and the training that they have. Our center's been growing over the last several years, and in fact, we were authorized 4 new positions and 1 supervisor to come up here and work to help with the increased workload. Again, a vehicle accident on I-5, cell phone calls coming in, a wildland fire in our urban interface communities. They generate hundreds of phone calls. And then the resources that are sent, hundreds of fire units, not just here with Kern County, Bakersfield City, and Cal City Fire Department. We're talking resources from throughout the state. And another key component of this is the resources provided by the state and federal government. CAL FIRE, the U.S. Forest Service, Bureau of Land Management, they all come in, and it all comes to the central dispatch point. In conclusion, I want to acknowledge a few other people, because it's not just the building itself, it's all the technology that went in it. Everything's new. Our dispatch consoles, all the infrastructure for IT, and soon our new computer-aided dispatch system will be turned on. But fire department's IT staff, led by Michael Clark, our IT manager, all of his staff have been up here working diligently to get everything done. County communications, they were an integral part of this to make this happen. We're going to have one of the top emergency communications center in the nation right here. We'll turn that new CAD on, and it's going to be a seamless integration of the emergency communication and fire dispatch out of this center, and I think when you tour through it, you will see that. So thank you all for being here today. Again, tour the facility and thank all the people that actually put it together and made it happen. Thank you.